this was...
Look at us, what a good people here at UFC PI.
What do you weigh?
Well, it's okay, brother.
You don't look like you're
67 and a half.
67. What about you, Rob? What do you
I
weigh?
just got off the plane.
155.
55?
Yeah, I'm
I don't know how you guys stay so skinny. I eat one and I'm 170.
it's
Featherweight body. What's up, Nikki?
You're skinny, you're strong, they like you.
Sean O'Malley recently ran into Aljamain Sterling and Merab Dvalishvili at the UFC Performance Institute and seemed keen to know how much they weighed. Sterling nonchalantly replies, saying he weighs around 167 pounds in sugar, then redirects the same question towards Merab, who claims he's at 155 pounds. Notably, the Machine is booked against Petr Yan for a fight in March, while Sterling's rumored fight with Henry Cejudo is yet to be finalized. Merab also took a shot at his next opponent in the caption of the video he posted. The Georgian used the hashtag #PeterYanHunters, referencing O'Malley's and Sterling's wins over the Russian last year. Islam Makhachev hilariously fires back at Alexander Volkanovski's dig about his knee and Makhachev's face. Back in December 2022, the Great uploaded an Instagram video in which he suggested that Makhachev's face resembles his knee, ahead of his highly anticipated fight against Alexander Volkanovski. Islam Makhachev spoke to Nico Pajarillo of Fox Sports Australia and was asked about Volk comparing his knee to Makhachev's face. Makhachev responded by jibing at Volkanovski's height. The UFC lightweight kingpin smilingly stated, "How do you want to put my face in his knee? Because he is short and he needs some chair for this. Take a look."
Did you see Alex's post on social media when he said that he's got your face on his knee? How do you respond to that?
How he want to put my face in his knee because he's short and he needs some chair, for this.
Jamahal Hill eyeing future Superfight with Jon Jones at heavyweight. Sweet Dreams is fresh off his showdown with Glover Teixeira at UFC 283 earlier this month. Despite heading into the Brazilian's home country, Hill dominated in his first title shot. He wound up claiming the vacant 205-pound gold by a lopsided unanimous decision. While it's still a ways away, Jamahal Hill also has his eyes on a possible clash with Jon Jones. The former champion is slated to make his heavyweight debut against Cyril Gane in March. During a recent interview with Sportskeeda, Hill discussed Jones' upcoming return, as well as his hope to fight him in the future. A fight with Jon Jones has never stopped crossing my mind 1000%. I still got some building to do, I still have defenses that I have to make, and things like that. But is that a challenge I want in the future? Yes, it is. Hill stated, "Take a look.
Now that you're champ, has it crossed your mind now about a potential fight with him at some point? I don't know, like again, you just won the title. I want to be clear about that. I like champions defending their belts and then we start talking about super fights. But now that you've won the belt, has it crossed your mind about getting to fight him maybe at heavyweight?
Yeah, it's never stopped crossing my mind, 1000%. I want to build I still got some building to do, right? I still have defenses that I have to make and things like that. But is that something a challenge that I want for the future? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Daniel Cormier thinks Israel Adesanya accepted Alex Pereira fight sooner than he wanted to because of too many fight offers. Israel Adesanya will face Alex Pereira in April as he looks to reclaim the middleweight title. UFC Hall of Famer Daniel Cormier recently speculated that the former champion may have rushed to accept the title fight due to his rival having other options. Speaking on his podcast DC and RC, the former double champion discussed how Pereira might have been tempted to pursue fights against light heavyweight champion Jamahal Hill and top-ranked middleweight Robert Whittaker instead of a rematch with Adesanya. You don't hear Israel talking about whether or not he's going to fight Alex when he's going to fight. And all of a sudden Jamahal Hill becomes the champion and then Jamahal Hill says, "Hell, I'll let Alex Pereira come up to 205 and I'll fight him right now." Cormier said, "Listen closely."
Because for me, RC, anytime you don't hear anything, right? You don't hear Israel talking about whether or not he's gonna fight Alex, when he's gonna fight, and then all of a sudden Jamahal Hill becomes the champion. And then Jamahal Hill says, "Hell, I'll let Alex Pereira come up to 205 and I'll fight him right now." But then Alex Pereira says, Izzy, I won't mess with his plans. If he wants to fight, I'll give it to him. If not, I'll move on to Robert Whittaker. So for me, it feels a little bit like RC, like maybe Izzy wasn't going to fight him now, but when his name started to ring bells in so many different areas, he goes, maybe it's now or it may be never. Because as you know, many people feel like Alex is a vulnerable champion.
Paulo Costa takes hilarious dig at UFC and Prime partnership for not considering his secret juice as UFC's sports drink. Paulo Costa has strong opinions about the UFC's multi-year sponsorship deal with Prime, the hydration drinks company co-founded by Logan Paul and KSI. Earlier this week, Paul teased a partnership with UFC President Dana White, which was met with mixed reactions online. The deal replaces the UFC's 5-year contract with Coca-Cola Company's Body Armor sports drink, which has now expired. Prime will appear on UFC broadcasts, including pay-per-views and fight night events on ESPN+. Costa took to Twitter to claim that the UFC contacted him for his secret juice to be the official hydration partner of the UFC. Despite enormous financial incentives, Paulo Costa did not agree to terms with the UFC. They offered $500 million, but I said no. Costa added, "Drink your sugared Prime water. Let secret juice out of your dirty hands." Jake Paul gives his thoughts on Dana White's New Year's Eve incident. Despite his frequent jibes and criticism of Dana White on social media, largely regarding the contractual conditions of fighters in the UFC, former Disney star turned prominent combat sports figure Jake Paul hadn't spoken about the 53-year-old's domestic violence incident until now. And when given the chance to address the altercation during a recent interview with Sunsport, the problem child chose to keep things civil, noting that he doesn't like to kick people when they're down. "I know he had his whole situation, but I don't really need to kick people when they're down. What he did speaks for itself, and I've always said, I don't think he's a good person. Look how he treats these fighters." Paul said, "Take a look."
You know, the feud between Dana and I has been like a lot of hype, and it draws a lot of like media, and it's been a bunch of talk back and forth. But my main thing is getting the fighters paid more and raising the fighter minimum to $50,000. You know, whereas it's at $12,000 now. Getting them health insurance, long-term health care. That's what it's mainly about, and I know he had his whole situation, but I don't really need to kick people when they're down. You know, that what he did speaks for itself, and I've always said I don't think he's a good person. I mean, look how he treats these fighters.
Leon Edwards claims Kamaru Usman ain't even that good. Edwards became the UFC's welterweight champion with a 5th-round head kick knockout over Usman back in August at UFC 278. Usman was on his way to winning until Edwards landed the kick with a minute left in the fight. And now, ahead of the trilogy at UFC 286, the Brit expects Usman to wrestle early and often, yet he is still confident he will win the fight by stoppage again. When I envision it, what does he do different? Probably more heavy wrestling. Probably. Make it a snooze fest. Try and get the belt back that way. I don't think he will want to hang out on his feet, Edwards said on the MMA Hour. Listen closely.
When I envision it, it's like, what does he do different? Probably more heavier wrestling, probably. Make it a snooze fest. Try and get the belt back that way. I don't think he'll want to hang out on his feet. Like before he's talking about boxing Canelo and doing all this and doing all that. I think I'll put a stop to all that thinking. If he approached it like he's fighting the same guy that he fought in August, I think it'd be a show tonight. I remember like he was fighting, I remember thinking in my head like, the guy ain't that good.
Wow.
My body just weren't working for some reason. You know, he was like hitting me. Oh my God, it's like he's like just wailing on my God. In my head I'm thinking, this motherfucker ain't that good.
Is Leon Edwards being too cocky, or is he right? Let us know what you think in the comments below. That's all for today's video. If you want to know the latest UFC news, subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications bell, and click the like button so you don't miss any details about the upcoming fights. Thanks for watching. See you soon.